Thank you, Senator. As I think about this, I approach it as if we're doing a hiring exercise. We're not, the President, of course, makes the nomination, but we're acting in partial capacity. And when I hire somebody, the first thing I look at is experience. And as I mentioned at the hearing, I think Senator Hagel's experience as an enlisted man is important, particularly when we're going into an era where a lot of the responsibility of the Defense Department is going to be dealing with people returning from combat, dealing with soldiers, men and women who have been in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I think having somebody in the position that he has been nominated for, who has been there, who has been on the front lines and understands the stresses and the pressures, I think it's important. I think it's important for the morale of the entire enterprise. In addition, he has experience here in the Senate. He has experience in managing large organizations. He has experience in ongoing questions of public policy. And so that's where I start, is experience. Look at the resume. Number two, the next thing I do when I hire somebody is check references. And the references, Mr. Chairman, you read at the beginning of the meeting the list of people that are supporting him from both sides of the aisle, former secretaries of defense, people that are sort of a who's who of national security policy in the United States has supported him, and these are people that know him better than I do. And I put a lot of weight on that. When I see people like Bill Cohen and Secretary Gates and Perry, that carries a lot of weight with me. Those are serious people who we know put the interests of the United States at a very high level, and they would not be recommending someone that they didn't feel confident in. The third thing, of course, in a process is the interview. And I think the interview was the confirmation hearing. And we had an opportunity to question him, and I don't think he was as, I think Senator Shaheen used the word feisty. I think he was not as forceful as he might have been. I'm not sure how all of us would have done in a 9-hour hearing or whatever it was. It was a pretty long day that day. And I would say, parenthetically, I remember the containment mistake. I remember the moment he made it, and it was a mistake. He knew the policy as prevention, not containment. The word popped out. He used the wrong word. It wasn't a deliberate statement of a policy difference with the President. It was literally I characterize it as a slip of the tongue. The same thing on the legitimacy of the Iran government. The point he was making was it's an established government. He used the word legitimate, not in the sense of it was duly elected and met our standards, but it was an established government, and as Senator Kaine indicated, I think he had a rational reason for taking that position because he was afraid if he took that vote, as Senator Webb said, it would have been used as a license by the administration to take aggressive action toward the nation of Iran. So I think that was a rational policy. The final thing I always look for when I'm looking to hire somebody is character. And this man has character. Mr. Chairman, at the beginning of the hearing, you used the phrase, he would give the President unvarnished advice with integrity. And that's a very high quality, very high on my list. That's what the President needs, is unvarnished advice. Not somebody that's always going to agree with him, but somebody who's going to give him his best judgment and has absolute integrity. And I think it would have been very easy for him to agree with Senator McCain in the hearing and avoid that contretemps. But he wasn't there, and he didn't do it, and that shows me some integrity. And then finally, I agree with other people that have already stated. I think our role is not to substitute our judgment for the President, not to say this is who we would have necessarily hired, but the deference goes to the President to build his team. But I happen to think Chuck Hagel is a man of great integrity, great intelligence, and is the kind of person that I think will be a strong leader for the Department of Defense, and particularly for the men and women who are actually the war fighters. So I intend to vote for his nomination with confidence and enthusiasm.